I think I'm gonna be cranking out a number of videos because I just got a wave of topics that I want to cover, and yeah, it's all came in my mind. So I think I'm gonna be dropping, if it ain't a video every single day, it's gonna be a video every other day. Um, so before I get on with this video, I want to make this very clear that me talking about this stuff doesn't come from a place of depression, doesn't come from a place of being down or anything like that. It comes from a place of talking about it because um, you know, I've had a lot of time to reflect on a lot of things, right? Back on my life and things I used to do and stuff like that. So, I also want to be able to share with you guys. Because again, as I'm relaxing here in the bed, just a wave of stuff just comes, man. And, um, I just like to want to talk to you about it. But again, I want to make that very clear. So in case a lot of people y'all come here on a video and say, well, won't you get out and do this, or won't you get out and do that, or you know, I don't need to hear that, because again, I'm in a good space in my life. So it doesn't come from those particular things that you all might have a concern about. So there's no need for that. Um, so yeah, on the topic. So I was what was it? I think yesterday and the day before, I went outside and just stood outside and got some air. And I was where I live is a very busy street, man. It's a lot of vehicles that go back and forth. You know, um, do a lot of traveling throughout the whole entire day, right? And it's so busy that traffic, that you just hear it. And I was just sitting back, just looking at the traffic, man. It's looking at all different kind of cars and different speeds and different people that's inside the vehicles. What I've noticed is a lot of people speeding, right? And this is like around, I want to say the afternoon, like later in the afternoon, like around 4 or 5. Like I started seeing a lot of vehicles just speeding, right? And the first thing I was thinking of is people getting off work, right? And it could be very well what people are doing, right? But then there's other reasons too. And I was just sitting here thinking, like I was once one of those people who was just in the traffic like that. I wasn't ever speeding. I usually would, I would when I drive, I usually, I drive when I need to get somewhere. I kind of put my foot on the gas, but I wouldn't just do it recklessly. But I was just seeing the people just, you know, everybody just speeding, just speeding. And I'm thinking to myself, get where, you know? And mind you, it's not only here or where I'm at. It happened to other places where I lived. Um, well, not the quiet neighborhood I was staying in before I came here, but when I get into the more of the inner city, I would see it, and I'll just be thinking in my mind. I see this stuff like, why people just, where the hell are people going? You know, and I just seen people speeding, so I was like, man, in my mind, I was like, I partake in that, and I did those things. Like, what the hell was I doing? You know, and I mean, if you guys haven't did it before, just take out the time and just sit back and look at traffic and look at people and what they do and how they do things, man. And you will find yourself in a different perspective when you do look at, when you take yourself out of that equation and you just sit back and just reflect and look, and it might trip you out. And so, yeah, I was sitting a bit as I was looking at that and seeing people speeding. I was thinking about, you know, me going to work every single day and um, me going to different places and, you know, all this of what I was doing is just basically consuming, just major consumption. And, it's basically what people usually do. When they go out, they usually go out to go, when they take care of business, they don't always consume, but the majority of it is to consume, right? Or send something out. And I was thinking, man, like I was doing a bunch of that shit. Like just basically just endlessly going, right? Not even thinking about stopping, not thinking about just, me doing something other than what everybody else is doing, right? Just figure like that's the norm, just do it, man. And, you know, when I seen that stuff and when I seen the people moving in traffic, and just doing the things they were doing, I'm like, man, I have had an overwhelming feeling of relief. Like, man, I ain't got to do none of that shit, man. Like when I do, it's a time and place that I do it, and then I be done with it. But I don't have to do it every single day. And man, that's such a relieving feeling, man. You know, knowing that I don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? And just thinking like, man, what are people doing? What are people really doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I know what they're doing, but you just ask yourself over and over again, like, what are they really doing? You know, I think it's a bunch of when you're in traffic. It's to be honest with you, it's real stressful. You know, when you're in traffic, but um, yeah, back to the consuming thing. Like when people go out, they do a lot of consuming and um, they get a lot of stuff. And I don't know what people's schedules are or how they get it, but they get a lot of stuff, right? And half the stuff that you're gonna get, you're not gonna really use anyway, you know. But um, even when I go to stores or just retail places, I see people just consuming, right? Now again, I don't know their backgrounds or what the reason why they're doing these things, but I have been to people's houses and I see people, be in big houses and they got a gang of stuff in their houses, man. You know, and I just sat back and just thought just to myself in the middle of me going to these places, like these people got all this stuff. Like, what's the need for it? Just to show it off, or when you don't be here no more on this earth, you're gonna pass it on to somebody. Is that the purpose? I mean, what is the importance of having so much stuff? You know, um, and I asked myself this question because I know I'm getting older, right? When I was younger, I feel like I had to have the latest kicks, I had to have the latest fit, I had to have the latest, you know, even though I wasn't really a suit and tie man. I even like ties too, but I just felt the need to get it just because I liked the way it looked. I never really put a lot of the stuff that I mean, I have used the majority of my stuff, but the stuff that I, wasn't using, I just bought it just to buy it. And, I just thought to myself that I don't need it. I don't need it. These days, I only get stuff that I need, that I want and need, right? That I'm going to utilize, right? Around this room where I'm at, every other part of the household, if I got stuff in those areas, I'm going to utilize it. It won't just sit there and collect dust. And if it does collect dust, it's because I don't need it at the moment. But I know when people get things, most people would get things just because they want to have it, just because if they need to use it at some point, they use it, right? But most of that stuff just being stored, just be stored somewhere. You know, it's just the idea of having stuff. You know, um, and when I think about it, it's like, man, because I'm getting, like I said, getting older and stuff like that. Like the simple part of me just comes out a lot, man. And it's like I don't need it, man. I don't need it. I'm only going to get things that I need to utilize, and that's it. You know. And that's from now on moving forward, you know. And for me, it's not a lot, man. I don't need a lot. I'm very, very simple, man. You know, I just need a few things that'll entertain me, you know, and I partake in. I'm good, man. I don't have to. I don't have the need for excess stuff, man. You know. Um, yeah, sure. You have in the household, it's good to have certain things, but not a lot, man. You know, because in the end, you're gonna be going back in places and digging up stuff that you look at and be like, "Damn, I got all this," you know, and it wouldn't make any sense. Now, I'll say with the sentimental things, as far as your family, you know, your childhood, you know, your grandmother, you know, grandfather, things like that. You know, pictures from back in the day when you were a child. Those things, yeah, you keep. If you can keep them everywhere, man. You know, in your places that you live at, and if they store and collect dust, you can go back and reflect on those pictures or those videos, and you know, remember those times. You know, so if you have those, yeah, keep all that. Don't get rid of that at all. I mean, keep that until you pass on, and then it'll eventually go to somebody else. But those sentimental values, you know, to me is more detrimental than anything else. So yeah, so keep those things. But as far as like just other things, like to have, you know, like you know, you got a big house and you got so many big ass TVs in different rooms. You got a movie theater area. You got this and that. You know, yeah, it's cool. You know, if you got a big family, but if it's just you, it's you and uh, you know your wife or your husband, and you know, and it's just you and y'all don't have no kids, you know, or if I got two kids, right? You know, get something that's going to appease all you and the kids. You know what I'm saying? But not a whole bunch of stuff because think about it. You don't have a family of kids like 10 kids. Now, if you had 10 kids, that would make more sense to have these things, but there's no point in having them to me, man. And the less you have, the better off you be, the less stress you'll be under. You know, the you won't have the need or worry about getting more stuff. You know, just to have it. You know, if you haven't did it, if you haven't tried it before, try it, man. I recommend you try it, man. Because trust me, if you're well, if you are my age or older or maybe younger, man, way younger, you know, when you get older, you know, from the young people out there, you know, you're gonna understand what I mean, and you may not understand it now because you're young, you want to be flashy and all that. But come on, man, um, it's not really about that. And I got those things. I got things I could be flashy on if I want to. But nah, man, it's no need for that because usually when you do have it, people be out here trying to get you for it. Just because you just living your life and you ain't causing no issues with nobody, but it's because of what you got on you is what they want, you know. And you know, sometimes you have to, you know, just live the simple life and just get the things you need and partake in the thing in the entertainment that you want to partake in, and just be cool, you know. But you guys, let me know, with the comments down below, man. Let me know what's the importance of having. I want to say, what's the importance of consuming so much stuff? You know, me personally, there's no need to consume so much stuff, but I would like to know why people consume so much stuff, especially people who's older too, because I know some older people out there who just have a gang of stuff, man, and half the time they don't want to give it up, but they don't know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So, old and young people, man, leave your comments below, um, and let me know, man. Let me know if I'm out of my mind with this topic, man. But I just want to know what the importance of it is, man. Like, you know, why people do what they do. Because again, people, I think it's like people who want to get and have a bunch of money, right? To be financially free, right? And I get it. But when you're not here anymore, can't leave it with you. If you got kids, you can pass it along to them. Sure, that's cool. But even then, with them, when you pass it along to them, nobody can take it with them. So I just say, live simply, man, and just enjoy your life, man. It's more to life than just having so many possessions, man. All right. So with that being said, man, it's peace and prosperity to you guys. I hope you guys enjoying morning, and those of you who's going to enjoy the evening once the evening starts. And yeah, love to all y'all, man. Love. Until the next video, I'm gone.